Chat, here we go. We have Nass versus Dralii. A battle of the Moroccans to see who's the best. Right now, both these guys are rated top 10 on the ones leaderboard, and they are friends. They were playing in a private match right before we started. I say they're friends. Dralii says they're friends. Nass and some people in chat say that they're cousins. Now, I have absolutely no idea who to believe, whether or not they're cousins or not, but what they are is 1v1ing each other right now. That is for sure confirmed. A nice best of 5 between Dralii and Nass. I don't think these two have played a full best of 5 before. I want to say, looking into their past, they had some maybe best of 1s, or maybe actually they might have done a best of 5 during the Amina Pro Drops. So one of Johnny's tournaments. That might have been on my stream, honestly. I can't remember. But Nass won that one. Nass did have the edge that one. When Dralii played that tournament, I don't think he was on form. He wasn't as warmed up and ready for ones. And I say not warmed up just like for the single day, but warmed up in terms of playing the game a ton up until the match and actually being in peak form. I think Dralii is in that form right now as he's showing off in his first goal. The nice reset wave dash. Does he wave dash here, or does he just land on the corner? Yes, he does. He dashes to chip the ball in. A great first goal. Vacanus, thank you for the 20 months of Prime. Prime check. We'll have to see if anyone else has their primers laying in wait. Nass is a very solid 1v1er. Not easy to break down his defense. Dralii has been playing a ton in the air in his previous matchups. Will Nass be able to stop him from doing so? We'll have to see. I wonder if we've ever had... Have we had a Moroccan play a Moroccan before on stream? Probably at some point, right? But this is definitely one of the few times, if so. Why is Morocco not allowed in the RLCS? I'm not really sure. Nass, though, is not currently in Morocco. I think he's in Belgium. I think. Might be somewhere else. But he is able to play in the RLCS because it is just about where you're located, not where you're from. Which is why people are excited about Dralii moving to France, which is the most recent news we've heard about Dralii in terms of his potential RLCS eligibility. Once upon a time, the story was that he might be coming to Canada to beef up the US, which I tell you what, man, we could use a Dralii here in North America, but sounds like it will be Europe that will benefit from his skills. Yo, Slimzy, Raheem, thank you for the brand new Prime and the multiple gifteds. Appreciate it. Nass. Reset drops low. Dralii is going to be the first to counter. We're going to see a lot of aerial gameplay getting counterattacked, I imagine, although I would have expected it to be Dralii maybe forcing the issue against Nass. We actually see the opposite. Nass trying a bit too hard to milk something out of that aerial. Dralii just going to toss a strong shot on nets from the back corner, a position that's often air dribbled from, but instead Dralii just decides to put up a shot and maybe go for a follow-up. Nass is being a total pest right now, not letting Dralii get a clean setup. And now it's Nass on the air dribble, pre-jumped by Dralii. And Nass going to get this on target, but I actually think Dralii's going to get back. Not that we shouldn't credit him for what was a fairly tough save. Not a huge margin of error getting inside the nets to get that out. Minute 30 left. The wall dash to bump from Dralii. Wait, Dralii can't get back down and put it on targeted time. Nass can respawn. Nice low 50. That was not guaranteed for Dralii. Did not have enough boost to stop that momentum. And I think, fortunately, I'm not sure whether or not a spawn on that side would be better or worse. Nass definitely had a chance to make the save, just got a little overexcited, was expecting Dralii to try and pop it over the top of him as opposed to accepting the low 50. Nass, goal line save. Can't get the reset to bring the ball back on target. So he's down 2, but he's holding on to his possession, or at least trying to. This is why we see so many players playing back wall dribbles, because if you bring this ball to the ground, Nass just so close to converting on that. You can't bring the ball down to the ground once it's on your own back wall, because players are too good at defending and keeping you from maintaining possession. You basically are forced to take those full field O dribbles, or at least those are the best option. Nass is going to long shoot right now to put himself within one. Such an interesting development that the once game has made, that the talent in the air dribbles has gotten good enough that it is the correct decision, if you're on your own back wall from a position like that, to just try and go for a full field air dribble. Now Nass losing this kickoff into his back corner. Dralii shadowing behind. No reaction from Nass on the first fake, so he went for the real deal and was able to tackle it off of him. Nass will steal his own corner boost. Now, has a carry, launches the flick way over the top of the net. Dralii did not get the touch. He's going to have to defend on 0 now. Nass lost the bounce, which is huge. Able to get the demo to make something out of it. Falling from the ceiling with 10 seconds to work with. The flip into the reset. Nass to the ground. Is he going to go bump Dralii? He is! Nass, what a clutch finish. Such a smooth setup, too, from Nass. I didn't realize that he had this level of mechanical control in the air to use a flip to get into the reset. I mean, he didn't end up using another touch on the ball. He just let the ball bounce in, but still very impressive. It would be so devastating to watch that roll directly into the net after such a great play. Dralii, oh, that was bouncing in, but it hit ground off of the post. The couple pixels weren't quite in yet, so it is going to be OT. Dralii's going to have another opportunity in the air. Great first touch. It's just unbelievable what Dralii's able to do, but he misses off the post. Trying to bump Nass now. Nass is still pinned back from the initial kickoff, so shouldn't be a ton of boost in his tank, as he's able to pick up a little bit from pads around the net. Dralii needs to be careful on this clear. Because he's careful, it allows Nass to get around the ball and keep possession. Dralii pushing this to the black wall, the back blue wall. Nass launching this up. Dralii, interesting late flip. Now pre-jumping behind the ball. Nass can't get it past him, but does have the demo. Dralii, the respawn near post. Tries to fake. What a challenge by Dralii. I think he's actually done enough to prevent this from being a goal, which is very, very impressive from his position on the respawn. Now he's trying to get a 50 back the other way. These two vying for control of the ball. They're both going to back off. Dralii doesn't pick up the midfield, and Nass does pick up his own back corner, so he will get possession. Lost control of the ball there a bit. Forced to take a somewhat weak flick. He's going to chip this infield into the air dribble. Reset pop on the top of Dralii. We're watching from Dralii's perspective. Can he get back? He cannot. Nass will score to win the overtime. Dralii with the passive air dribble, but it's that reset pop from Nass to put it over the top of him that was the difference. Nass is really impressing me today, specifically in his aerial gameplay, as he takes game number 1. Game number 2. Nass and Dralii. Dralii comes in, I would say, as the favorite in this matchup based on what we've seen from him recently. But Nass has proven to be playing really well today. And chat does slightly agree with me on the prediction. They had Dralii by 60%, but I tell you what, one of the ways that Dralii might not be able to close this out is if he keeps hitting crossbar on some of his magician-like shots. We saw at least one in game number 1, where he was just inches away from scoring. Here's another one to start game 2. Nass, air dribble bump. Dralii gets around it. A great save to not get bumped there, and now he's up into the air the other way. Nass swinging around the boost and arrives to the net just in time to protect the top shelf. Keep the first goal from going in. A minute in. This guy's starting slow again. It was actually a somewhat of a low-scoring game. The last time around, Dralii's going to take the setup from Nass the whole distance of the field, but fell just a little bit early. Now Nass back the other way. Reset. Top shelf. And it's a 1-0 lead for Nass. I tell you what, I stand corrected on how I thought this game was going to go. If you told me it was going to be Nass annihilating through the air and Dralii not being able to stop the shots, might have told you had the names mixed up, but the proof is in what we've seen so far. Nass has looked really solid. Nass normally just a really smart 1v1er. Uses his speed to be a pest. And he does so at the highest level. I'm not saying he's not a mechanical player, but he's definitely playing a more Dralii-like style so far today. Dralii just a maniac on the field. So he's able to wave dash to tap that one behind Nass. Dralii with the whole field in front of him. Soft flick. Does not take too much boost out of Nass's tank. I think he's going to be able to immediately end that possession. And in fact, he's going to counterattack. Nass gets a second goal. Surprising Dralii with a bit of speed there. You see Dralii setting up in the shadow. I don't think he's expecting the ball to get ahead of him. But Nass gives it a big burst. And then from then on out, Dralii's trying to defend from behind the play. Dralii going to follow Nass. The back blue wall. These are the positions I talked about, those full field dribbles before. But if Dralii does leave the play, it is going to allow Nass to bring the ball down to the ground. Goes for a flick. Actually ends up neutralizing this ball on the goal line. He's playing double jump keep away from Dralii. Now after taking his corner boost, he's going to attack through the air towards that opposite post to try and get Dralii to make as tough of a save as possible, but it didn't work. Dralii should absolutely be credited for the save. It is not easy to make a save off the back wall where you have to float out to the midfield. Dralii made it seem like it was a foregone conclusion that he'd be getting the save and countering. Dralii flipping through this kickoff to grab the back corner. Then the ball towards the back wall just as a way to get a boost steal. But Nass is going to immediately counter. Nass played this perfectly. Did not fall for the fake as Dralii slightly approached that back wall, made it seem like he might try and dunk. Nass knew that that would be a very unwise decision for Dralii, so he doesn't need to actually worry about him making a play on the ball. Instead, and carefully watch the bounce as it can set up for a carry and flick. That's what Nass gets as he tries. He gets the pool shot from Dralii, puts the ball in a position that Dralii can't get to, and ends up just bumping Nass into the shot. Wow, what a read. Nass has ascended to the next level of Rocket League. Nass now has the mental edge. Has Dralii panicking. Position that is hard to get him into, but he was worried about the hook shot that never came. Nass just lets the ball fall to the ground. Dralii reads this fake kickoff, though, to perfection. I want to watch it again from Nass's perspective. Instantly turns away. You know, it seemed like a pretty late adjustment to what could have otherwise been a normal kickoff, but Dralii saw the signs early enough and capitalized within 2 now with 1:40 to work his deficit back. The near net flick is going to be covered by Nass, who has half a tank to work with and is going to dive. Dralii intercepts the ball, might be able to counter. That is quite a dangerous dive from Nass. There's a reason why I called it that. Maybe he was expecting to catch Dralii off guard, thought no way he would expect this touch, so maybe he doesn't jump up to protect it, right? Say Dralii stays grounded because he's thinking Nass is going to for sure fake. Then maybe Nass's play works out, but because he just attack the ball. Dralii was ready for it. It's a free goal the other way. Now Dralii with a reset in the corner. Needed to give up on the play. Once he had fallen so low to the ground, he had to play a more passive 50 type style, I think, with this dribble. You cannot try and set up that late of a musty. Nass can single jump to challenge, doesn't even really need to commit, and will have a very quick recovery if he does succeed. Nass now up 2 with a minute and a kickoff back into his corner. A bit of an awkward setup for him, though, as Nass looks to backflip it away. Pre-jumps the Dralii chip. Dralii was trying to go over the top of Nass, but it didn't work. Nass lobbing this to the ceiling. That's a free setup for Dralii. He'll take it any day of the week, but can he control it? He cannot. Doesn't surprise me that he tried to, though, this late in the game. Had he been able to, might have been able to get an aerial shot with a late recovering Nass, but instead, he is going to play from down 2 with 30 seconds. Dralii with 25 boost. Flicks this one away. Nass will be the first to the midfield. That is probably the end of the game right there. Dralii knows he needs to dive. Wow, great play by Dralii. Nass, I'm a bit surprised. Didn't recognize that Dralii had no choice but to dive like this. Nass played it like Dralii was going to be passive. Now 13 seconds. Will we see a mix-up on the kickoff from Dralii? He just goes standard. Nass going wave dash, loses into his back corner. Dralii decides not to go for the demo. I think he thought about it there for a second, but decided Nass wasn't going to be easy enough to hit. Dralii wants to set this up into the corner, and he's demoed, so that'll end the game. The ball will hit the ground, and Nass will win by 1 to go up 2-0 in a best of 5. Game 3, back against the wall for Dralii. Has to figure something out if he wants to stay alive in the series. He hasn't been completely out of these games. It's just Nass has had the edge. And he had the edge the last time they played. It was a 3-1. This time I would say Dralii in much better form, so if Nass able to get a similar result, I would hold it in even higher regard than the first time around. Dralii thought about the pinch there for a second. Seemed like he was going to set up the wall pinch. Decided against it. Nass dove like crazy here in the corner. And Dralii is going to be able to get an easy conversion. Dralii, huge boom to the back wall. Nass, oh my goodness, imagine he pinched that directly on target. Just drop it down from the back wall and then boom, a pinch the whole field. Nass, nice fake. Should be able to convert from this, and will. Dralii, Nass, and Itachi would be a crazy Moroccan super team. Yeah, that should be a pretty good team. Apparently there's a tourney tomorrow with pros and streamers. Anyone knows what it's called? I think you're thinking of, there's a couple things going on. There's the draw tomorrow, and then there is the Carry Tax Invitational, which I'm actually going to be commentating. That might be the one that you're referring to. Dralii popping up a shot, sorry. Popping up a soft shot. Forcing out the shadow save. That is not a good enough clear from Nass. Wave dash kickoff for Nass. We can tie the game right back up. What teams will there be? I think the way it's working is there's going to be like pros who play alongside the fans, basically, who have qualified or queued up through repeat. And then you gain all your points by having the viewer or whatever be the one who scores and does stuff. Dralii off the side wall. Nass doing his best to make a high save. But Nass was thinking about a ceiling challenge before and pulled off of it. Oh, actually fell from the ceiling. Yeah, I was wondering why he went for such an ambitious save from so high up. And it's probably because he fell off and was forced to just fall down. Nass, long shot over the top of Dralii. Another close game, it seems. Halfway through. Kickoff advantage, while tied, is going to go to Nass as a reset. Great challenge by Dralii, but only enough to stop that first shot. The attack continues for Nass as he heads to his back corner. From the ceiling now, falls Nass. The Musty's on target, but Dralii able to save it with ease as the ball heads low. Thank you, Coden Campbell, for the 6 months of Prime. Appreciate that. That's a lot of Primes donated to the channel. Dralii has the ceiling resets. Holding on to the flip. Nass has the save. One of the downsides of Dralii's setup was he was going to need to put a little bit on it in order to get it underneath the crossbar. And what that means is he can't threaten two types of shots, as Dralii does get this long shot after his save. If the ball was falling a bit lower, such that leaving the ball completely would still have been on target, then it makes the decision for Nass really hard. But when Nass knows that Dralii has to get a touch in order to even push it low enough to have a chance, then he gets a bit of an easier time reading it, which I think is what made it possible for him to get the save. Nass, high pop into the resets. Wanted the wave dash shot, but Dralii able to take it away. Interesting 180 from Dralii, and it might work out. Made his car seem awkward. Awkward enough that Nass felt like he could turn back and dive on the ball. Was it a bait all along to pull Nass in? We saw Dralii pull Nass into a similar mistake earlier in the game. Maybe a weakness of Nass's, as he so desperately wants to be on the ball in defense. Kickoff win. That's certainly not a downside for Nass. He's had a couple direct kickoffs. Dralii picked up his midfield, so he should be able to get a possession. His bounce dribble turns into nothing, though. A minute left. Nass lost the bounce. Has to cut the ball just to get it back into the air. By the time he's launching a flick, there isn't really much option left. Dralii handed the ball away, wants to try and get a demo because he went for it. Nass had to back off the ball, made it possible for him to take it. Now another dribble from his back wall. Just needs to be careful as he does have the lead late. Decides to take the ball to the ground for a low 50. Now a close shadow with low boost. Nass, we've seen him do it before. Getting enough power on the flick to get the ball around Dralii and have him not be able to recover. But this time around, Dralii does recover. Has a chance to put it up too, but will miss. Takes Nass's corner boost and booms the ball into his own back corner. Nass trying his best to chase him down. Wants to get the demo. Might be his only chance. He does bump him. The ball in the air. Dralii will let it hit the ground. So Dralii on the board. Another 1-goal margin game, this time in favor of Dralii as he tries to bring back the reverse sweep. Game number 4. Anyone feel like this ranked season is harder than the previous season? It's because they reset you by more. That's why. In case you didn't know, they reset people lower than they normally do in this season. So that's why it's going to feel like it's harder, because you're playing all the same people but at a lower rank, so it's going to feel like you're playing worse. When in reality, you're probably just playing all the same people. They just made your rank look lower. Nass Up 2-0 quickly in game number 4. Will the MMR go back up? You'll have to win to get it back up. But to be fair, basically what Psionic said was, whoops, this last season we let your rank get a bit too high. It shouldn't be that high. We made a mistake by letting you get that high. We're going to go ahead and push you back down. Which is tough, man. I bet you it's really hard for Psionics to do that. Because nobody likes their MMR going down. Nobody likes making it seem like they're playing worse. So everybody wants like a hard reset or all these resets that like push people back down. I bet you that's very discouraging and results in less people playing when they see their rank go down. So it's a tough spot for Psionics. They can't let it inflate. Ooh, nice shot from Dralii. Dralii right back in. Sorry. They didn't fully revert it. They reverted it a little bit, but not that much. Great full field shot from Dralii. Nass tapping the ball around Dralii in order to maintain possession. Dralii's all over the ball. Can't get this double, though. Nass forced him to play it quicker than he would have liked. And what a great flick the other way. There are these perfect flicks you can get when the ball is just falling off your car. You launch it to send it forward. That's what Nass finds right here. Dralii letting this bounce come to a stop in front of him. And just hovering behind the ball, hoping for Nass to make some sort of panic challenge. Nass is floating from the ceiling. Maybe convinces Dralii to bring the ball down to the ground. Pops up a flick. You see Dralii waiting there near the landing of Nass because he needs him to be worried about his presence. He doesn't just immediately dive into the corner boost to steal it. He wants Nass to know that I will turn and shoot this ball if you don't cover it all the way to the ground. And that being said, he gets caught out of position either way. Now it's Nass up 2. I'm not necessarily saying that the Rocket League rank system is anything like the economy. I'm just telling you how I understand the Rocket League system to have worked this season. Nass throwing the what a save. It was a nice save indeed. As Dralii putting it off the crossbar end post to keep it out. And Dralii's going to challenge high in the air as well. As impressive as this defensive stand is, Dralii will need some offense to match if he wants to come back in this game. Nass gets the reset, lets the ball bounce, and slots it top left. Threatening the whole way down to the ground, though. Dralii cannot get a read on where that shot is going to end up. Nass sees an open bottom left corner. And with half the game left, has a nice 4-goal lead on Dralii, who is a very interestingly... I mean, I'm not sure what the argument for Dralii's setup and defense there is. Bringing himself all the way out of the net, power sliding to 180. And just leaving a gaping hole open on the opposite side of the net. Nass. A pinch directly on target. He got it! Dralii couldn't stop it. Nass. He is absolutely on fire right now. Dralii did his best to affect the shot, but it's a 106 km/h pinch across the whole field. Nass is trying to end this series in style. Side flip to keep the ball away from Dralii. The long shot is going to go bottom left and on target. And there's the GG. With 2 minutes left to go, Nass, another 3-1. He's going to repeat the series score from the last time these two played. And this is one of the better matches from Nass that I have seen in recent memory. GG's.